What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to Cooking with Tammy. Looking for that delicious holiday style, creamy, but yet delicious cheese pull mac and cheese that's going to set you straight for the holidays. Look no further because your girl Cooking with Tammy has the perfect recipe. Let's get to cooking. To our water, because you want our elbow macaroni to have some flavor, we're going to add some chicken bouillon. Been doing this for a couple of years, and I gotta be honest, I really like the flavor that the chicken bouillon gives the pasta once everything is cooked down. We're gonna cook our pasta until it's al dente, of course, simply because we're gonna be adding it to the oven, and we don't want to overcook our pasta, because if not, you're gonna have a mushy mess by the time you take it out of the oven. So follow the instructions on the back of the package for the al dente only instructions. Let's introduce our butter. That's about 6 tablespoons of butter. And we're also going to add some flour because, yes, for this particular recipe, we're going to be making a roux. Now, I have other mac and cheeses where we didn't, make a roux or whatever. However, for this particular one, that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to melt down this butter, and we're also going to add our all-purpose flour, not self-rising, but all-purpose. And if you notice, I'm stirring as the butter is melting, and I'm not adding all of the flour at the same time, but I'm adding small amounts, simply so I can continue to have that control. I want to incorporate the flour throughout the butter, and the importance of cooking the flour is basically so you don't have a roux that tastes floury and your end result is going to be chalk. It's going to be nasty. All right, since we're not making gumbo, I am not going to brown this roux. I'm just going to cook it for a couple of seconds. Pan is, like I said, nice and hot, just enough to get that taste out of here. Once you start to see that bubble action taking place, we are going to add our milk. And of course, once I start to add the milk, I'm going to tell you what type of milk we're going to be using for this particular recipe. I would prefer if you follow this recipe to its entirety, all right, if you want the same results. We're going to add some half and half. Give it a good stir. All right, and we're also going to add some heavy cream. Yes. Get it perfectly incorporated. Take your time and stir. Don't be like me. I do everything fast. It's hard for me to do anything slow. All right, we're going to lower the flame because we want to keep that control. Also, we don't want to overheat the milk. And that's simply because once we start to add our cheeses, we don't want the cheese to separate from the milk and then you end up having like this mess. You want to keep that, not to mention we're going to be adding mozzarella, so you want to keep that cheese pull going. We're going to add some cream cheese. Cream cheese is going to give us the ultimate creaminess that we are looking for. I want it to break down and get nice and creamy and incorporated perfectly throughout the sauce. I traded in my spatula for my whisk because I want it to be smooth, okay? I don't want a lump or a bump in this sauce. Check it on out, my loves. Now, this consistency right here, that's that rock out consistency, all right? So we are going to continue to lower the flame and let's season. All right, so with that being said, let's add some smoked paprika. I'm also going to add some onion powder, garlic powder, salt, and ground black pepper. Not too much. Keep in mind that we are going to be using cheeses, all right? And our cheese is salty. We're also going to be adding some ground mustard. If you don't have ground mustard, get your hands on the ground mustard. Can't have mac and cheese without the ground mustard. It's going to create such a delicious flavor contrast in that mac and cheese. Woo! And no, it's not going to taste like the mustard in the bottle. The one that you put on hot dogs. It's not going to taste like that. It's going to taste even better. All right, continue stirring. Gonna lower that flame. Keep the flame on low. If it's too hot, turn it off. Feel free to turn the flame off. All right, check on that pasta. Make sure you don't overcook it. And in the meanwhile, let's go ahead and add our cheeses. Can you see me or can you barely see me? For this particular holiday mac and cheese, we're gonna be using smoked Gouda along with mild and sharp cheddar. We also have some pepper jack and mozzarella cheese. Now here's the thing. From the last recipe that I did, I had some reserved grated Parmesan cheese along with some extra mozzarella and smoked Gouda. But anyway, what we're gonna do is we're gonna incorporate everything. So we're gonna start off with adding some of our smoked Gouda for that nice smoky element, along with our mild cheddar cheese, some pepper jack cheese as well, and our sharp cheddar, along with our Parmesan or Parmesan, depending on how you pronounce it. And we are going to get to mixing. Allow the cheese to melt slowly but surely. No need to rush the process. See that? Got that cheese pull going on already. At this point, my stovetop is off. Add some more mozzarella. Along with our cheddar. The cheddar is going to help with the creaminess as well. Okay, looking good. Looking good. See what I'm telling you? That's all you got to do. That right there is going to give us the ultimate cheese pull. All right, let's go ahead and get our pasta and get this bad boy incorporated. We're gonna add some of my all-purpose Cooking with Tammy seasoning. Now here's the thing, I should have added all at the same time when I was adding the other seasonings like the smoked paprika and the ground mustard. But guess what? Things happen, all right? That's not gonna stop the show. We're just gonna incorporate it into the sauce, and we're gonna have even better flavor. Alrighty, that's perfect. All right, let's add our pasta to our cheese sauce. And we're gonna fold our sauce into the elbow macaroni. If you wanna use cavatappi, you definitely can. Just take your time and mix it all in. Make sure everything is perfectly incorporated. Try not to lose a noodle while you're doing it. Let's get that 9x13 baking dish ready. Or if you don't have a 9x13, and let's say you have something smaller, then you're gonna need maybe about 2 baking pans. All right, to our baking pan, we are gonna add all of our beautiful mac and cheese. Perfect, this is perfection. I know when it comes to mac and cheese, we don't really say that it smells good. It's more so all about, you know, the cheesiness and the cheese pull and so on and so forth. But when I tell you this thing right here smells good, it smells really good. And incorporate all of our cheeses. And we're gonna go in with a big handful. And we're gonna spread it on top of our mac and cheese. All right, take your time, spread it on evenly. Now is not the time to spare the cheese. Now is the time to add the cheese. We're going for a creamy center. Now here's the thing. If you want your mac and cheese to be even more, how can I say, stringy, have more of a cheese pull, what you're gonna do is you're gonna add half of the mac, followed by a topping of shredded cheese, followed by more mac and cheese, followed by an extra topping of mac. Or should I say an extra topping of cheese? You get what I'm saying. Mac and cheese, more mac and cheese, followed by more cheese towards the end. We're gonna get a little bit of smoked paprika, or you could use regular paprika. And we're gonna add it to the top, of course. Now here's the thing, because this is a holiday style mac and cheese, if you wanna get some Ritz crackers and crush them up really good, add them to a little melted butter and make what's called like a little topping or crumble, you definitely can add some Ritz crackers, buttery Ritz crackers to the top, and you can place it into the oven like that, and you're gonna get that little crunch factor in your mac and cheese When I tell you that's gonna be awesome, that would be awesome too. Anyway, for now, into the oven, my loves, 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 15 to 20 minutes, or until the cheese is perfectly melted, uncovered. Don't cover it down. And check out our gorgeous mac and cheese. I turned on the broiler for the last 2 to 3 minutes. And check it out. We have those nice little crispy edges, that perfect color contrast going on. And without further ado, let's dig in. This looks amazing. And we have our cheese pull and our perfect little crust on top. Come on. Who could ask for anything more, right? You know what? Let's get some more. That looks good. Got some cheese hanging off the plate. All right, oh, let's go for that little edge piece. It's hot, don't get me wrong, but it's delicious. Oh my goodness, this is so delicious. Creamy, beautiful, decadent, big on presentation. All of the flavors. I taste the smoothness within this mac and cheese. Not to mention, I'm getting that nice little smoky element from the smoked paprika. Not to mention the smoked Gouda. And I'm getting that sharp cheddar taste as well. It's like the perfect contrast of flavors. Ooh. This is definitely a holiday-worthy mac and cheese recipe. Of course, all recipe instructions, details, measurements, ingredients, so on and so forth are going to be listed at the bottom of the description bar. You make sure you get those ingredients and make this recipe and follow it to its entirety. It's going to be so worth it. As always, I'm your girl Cooking with Tammy, and I will definitely continue to keep these delicious recipes coming. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.